And we are back. We've just finished a very brisk and very explosive TVZ, and now we're jumping headfirst into potentially another one. Well, it's definitely a TVZ. We'll see if it's going to be quite as fiery as the last one. I am, of course, talking about Epic versus Bioice here, and in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have our Red Zerg player coming down from the land of Canada. I have to double check that real quick. Yep, Canada. He is going to be representing Storm Gaming once again. He is Bioice.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres LE, we have the American Terran player himself representing Storm Gaming. It is Epic.
Surprised that we have a more standard map to kick things off with.
I know, how boring are these players?
Yeah, shaking my head. Epic, you know?
Oh god, but we as you were kind of alluding to, we did kind of cut the break a little bit early. Something to bear in mind is that unlike Europe, the groups are much smaller, which means you know, these players kind of have a decent amount of matches lined up, so I don't want to like hold them up or anything like that, as a lot of players are having multiple matches in a day, whereas for EU it's usually one match a day.
Yeah, two at most, and you know, it's the same amount of matches broadcast, but it's like you said, they take those matches from different groups. You know, they try to spread it out.
Yeah.
A, B, C, Group A, Group B, Group C, Group
Yeah.
D. Here we have Group A, we have Group B. So, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, as we were just saying, you know, Bioice just had a game against Scarlet. Now he goes straight into his next series. Same can be said for Epic. Same can be said for a lot of these players. So, oh boy, we just want to keep the ball rolling and make sure we don't delay any of the other streams. And yeah, we're getting into our second TVZ.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that we get a decent number of them coming out here in NA, you know. Actually, we are only casting one Protoss player tonight, aren't we?
Only one.
Wow, and it's not even a PvP.
It's
like,
yeah, it's crazy because there are so many Protosses in NA, but we somehow avoided the majority of them.
yeah, well, we gotta spread them out, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess some of the other streams are more Protoss connoisseurs, and it makes sense, you know, PvP can be a lot of fun, but we're here in the thick of it in all of these TVZs, and Epic has been on a roll. For him to take down Namshar is already insane. Can he do it again?
Yeah, let's see if this gives him a little bit of momentum going forward. Again, well, we are just in the start of the group stage right now, so a lot of changes can happen as the week goes on. Having a little bit of a lead at the start is always very nice to hear, especially if you're one of those, you know, quote-unquote momentum-based players like Lambo.
Yeah, I mean, it does so well for your mentality if you come out swinging hard, strong, and take, like, with a 2-0 lead after day one. Like, you've got to be feeling so good about yourself. So let's see if we can get there. Meanwhile, did you manage to get a result? Was there an upset? Like, you said that Bioice and Scarlet were in Game 3.
Oh, let me double-check that.
Yeah, because it would be wild.
That game, and nope, it wasn't an upset.
Okay.
Scarlet did take that series in the end, but yeah, for Bioice to take even a single map off of Scarlet, who I believe throughout 2021 has straight up overtaken both Neeb and Astrea to be the top seed in NA, that's astounding.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, even though Bioice may have lost that series, like, to take a game is absolutely huge here. So I don't think he's feeling too bad coming into his second series of the day. Meanwhile, the Hellions actually dive on all the way into the natural base, and they're going to get a decent amount of drone kills.
Yeah, 5 of them already. And that's without the Banshees coming in to follow up on it. Top of all that, Epic gets a really good scout, you know, makes sure that he knows what the saturation and what the gas count's looking like at the moment.
Yeah. Honestly, that was a great move there by Epic for 2 Hellions and a single Reaper to get all those drone kills. Again, confirming that there's no fast Roach Warren, confirming no fast gases or fast lair. Bioice did get a scout off in the main base. He is well aware of the Banshee opener, so he's getting himself ready. But, oh, the Hellions, they dive in almost again.
And they get another drone kill. Of course, it's a little bit trickier without that Reaper and those additional Hellions, but these Hellions are on the prowl. It gets a little bit easier when the Banshee goes into distract some of the attention away from Bioice.
Speaking of, the Banshee is en route. It is headed towards that natural base. Again, thankfully there are spores. Meanwhile, this drone is asleep at the job. And, not like this.
It was supposed to be a spore. It was so close to achieving its dream. And Epic comes in and just smashes that.
It could be like,
Banshee.
we were on a break. Like, the drone was just kind of chilling after a hard day's work, and it goes down immediately. Another 4 drones.
Honestly, a really nice lead coming up here from Epic. Sure, Bioice is still technically ahead, but he had to remake all of these drones, which he would much rather have them as lings or even banelings at this point. And mules, I mean, he's just thrown down a couple of mules. He's already just about caught up when it comes to the income.
Yeah, exactly, which is never a good thing here for Zerg. Meanwhile, no, the 4th base is so exposed, and without creep, without any kind of anti-air, we're gonna see it cancel.
Obviously, there aren't even that many lings. Yep, cancels just at the last second.
Oh, we don't see a second cancel.
So he is able to, potentially. I mean, the Banshee's gonna run out of energy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he wants the queen!
Okay.
Jesus.
That Banshee's still being annoying over here. The creep hasn't spread far enough for Queen to really deal with it just yet, and he doesn't even want to risk the Queens right now. I cannot believe the second Banshee survived all of that.
Wow,
What?
the second Banshee got 2 drone kills here in the main base, survives, chips away at the 4th base. Oh no! Mispathing there. 1 Banshee does eventually go down, but the rest of the Marines, the tanks are here as well. They want to deny the 4th.
Epic being even more aggressive than he was against Namshar. Wow. Now the medevac is coming in to reinforce once again. These Marines not gonna have any trouble. Was that a kill or
that was
cancel?
that was a kill, mate. That was a kill. Oh my god, Bioice in shambles right now. What does he have? Oh my god, this Baneliness is so late, by the way. This is what? It's 7 minutes and the Baneliness isn't even done yet. What is happening?
I guess that really goes to show you how frazzled he was with all those drone kills earlier on, you know?
Yeah.
How much it really affected his build. Link's trying to get in encirclement, but Epic very quickly retargets the tanks. No friendly fire. GG is called, and Epic will take another epic victory here.
Oh my.
This time with no banelings to worry about.
As you were saying, I think 100% that's what was happening because Epic was being so aggressive, because he was so in Bioice's face. I think he just fell apart a little bit mentally there. Like, that Bailey Nest was ungodly late. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Wow. And I hope that this isn't a sign of things to come here, because if you're in Bioice's shoes right now, take a game off of Scarlet and then you just get kind of... You were just at a game where you were absolutely not in control against Epic. That's definitely gotta sting a little bit.
Yeah. I hope Bioice is gonna be able to recover from this, because again, that was a really rough game. I mean, Epic has to be like over the moon, mate. Like he's gotta be.
He's gotta
so
be feeling
good
confident.
Oh yeah,
feeling confident right now.
Because that was as straightforward a game as you can get for a Terran player.
Yeah, I look at this game and I think, why can't all my ladder TVs be like this, man?
Yeah, like the Hellions doing so much damage, the Banshees as well, the cancels. The fact that those 3 queens were caught out off of creeps so they couldn't transfuse each other, they all go down, like your opponents forgetting their Baneling Nest. There was 1-1 upgrades on the way there for Bioice, I guess, but again, like,
Too little too late. Too little too late. Yeah, Epic definitely created an opportunity. Well, he was creating damage, but then an opportunity arose. He saw that opportunity and then he just seized it with his follow-up push.
Yeah, that was like,
it's very decisive of him.
I think he would even admit that that's probably like the ideal game for him. Like, if everything goes right.
Yeah, he rolled a 20 on luck before he played this game, and yeah. How it went. And of course, not to take anything away from him, that, you know, it was also very well executed.
Yes,
it's just a lot of things went right for him that normally don't go right for the Terran player.
Exactly, and I think we will both agree that that game wasn't really indicative of Bioice's skill. He's a very, very solid player in the scene. I think we all expect more from him, and I think we should get more from him here in Game 2. It was just an unfortunate series of events that really just snowballed a little bit out of control. But I'm sure here in Game 2, he'll come back.
As we loaded to another stand-up map, we just went from one best of 3 that was Berlingrad and Curious Minds, and now a bit of a more stand-up one as we spawn into Hardwire LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. We of course have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Canada. He's going to be representing Storm Gaming. We have Bioice.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the American Terran player himself, representing Storm Gaming. It is Epic.
I petition for fanfare, specifically for Epic, just to be replaced by those air horns.
Oh my god. Yeah. Maybe not the most creative of names, but very hype, very hype.
Oh yeah. Well, it's definitely a descriptive name, let me tell you that.
True.
Yeah, there are definitely some players who pick their names because it's something they aspire to be. Some of them pick their names randomly, and I think Epic is a little bit more of the former in that regard. Well, or he was always Epic, and then he just decided to name himself accordingly.
See, really, he's like Eric, and that's just his name.
Bad.
That's just... He's really not creative at all. He just picks his name.
Yeah. He actually wanted to call himself Eric, but then he saw that Eric was already taken, so he replaced the R.
There you
with
go.
a P. And the C and the K with a C.
Oh god. It's all possible, mate. It's all possible. We'll have to get an interview with him at some point. But so far, again, pretty standard openers. I do wonder how Bioice will adjust. We didn't really get to talk much about his builds, but again, when it comes to how he was spending his gases, Bioice is being very greedy. He, instead of, again, going for that Baiting Nest, he went for double EVA chambers, double upgrades, was thinking ahead, but did leave himself vulnerable to that early push.
Yeah, I guess if you do want to play a build like that, you might as well play it in the first game of best of, right? So Bioice, he is adaptable, and we should be seeing him tighten up and also make those adaptations to his build, now knowing how aggressive Epic can be.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Epic, we'll see if he mixes things up, because I think every game so far he's gone... Oh, I shouldn't say that. He did switch things up on Berlingrad, but we've seen a lot of 1-1-1. It's a Banshee.
Reaper gets taken out. Very nice beginning here from Bioice, and I think you're right there, Light. He has switched things up a little bit between his games, but they've always followed a very similar flowchart there. 1-1-1, or even if it was a third base before Starport, it was still a 1-1-1 to get the map control early on and cause a little bit of damage and harass, and then just go either completely all in or somewhat all in with a very potent timing.
Exactly. Which,
you know, is... I think consensus is generally that's how TVZ should be played from the side of the Terran player, you know, if you are going for Marine Tank. But, yeah, there are definitely a couple of other ways of going about it here.
Very decisive play, nonetheless, from Epic, and just like in the previous games, 1-1-1 opener here, going for the cloak, going for the Banshees once again. So more of the same from Epic, and we'll see if his execution is going to be as successful as in game number 1.
Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely what he's hoping for, but I can't imagine that's going to be the case once again.
Yeah. Again, Bioice, I'm sure he knows that he can do better when it comes to defending all this aggression. So far, the initial 2 Hellions haven't really been able to do too much. If you remember, in game 1, the 2 Hellions and the Reaper were able to get 4 drone kills. But with the death of the Reaper, like, that kind of potential isn't really there anymore.
Yeah, the Reaper is definitely the backbone of all of that. You lose 1 Hellion, you know, maybe you still get 2 or 3 drones. You lose a Reaper, you do not want to dive in at all.
Yeah, you lose so much micro potential and control there once that happens. Meanwhile, the rest of the Hellions are going to rock up. So far, very conservative approach, just trying to keep all this creep at bay. Dancing with the queens, and once again, Bioice goes for the double Evo chamber.
Alright, well, hopefully his Gambit pays off a little bit better this time. Again, picking off that Reaper early on is going to help a ton when it comes to making sure his economy isn't that damaged, making sure that he's more stable to be able to pull this off. But we'll see, as Epic, his stint is about halfway done at this point.
Oh, it is halfway done. Meanwhile, we should be seeing plus on melee starting shortly here for Bioice as well. This is the advantage of going for this kind of build, is that, again, you hit 1-1 far faster than the Terran player, which isn't normal, you know? Usually the Terran player is ahead in upgrades. But Bioice is giving up on some of his tech for this upgrade advantage. But to adjust, he's also taking all of his gases immediately. Oh my god.
I think it's a little bit better. Again, at this point, what I'm really looking out for Bioice is that Baneling Nest. I think the Banelings are the anti-marine tank unit, at least at this stage of the game, and, well, I guess in general, overall, they're going to want some Ling Bane, but yeah, definitely the key to defense here is going to be a lot of Lings to get us around, and a good number of Banelings to follow that up with.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the double Banshee does sneak into the main base, does confirm the timing of the lair. Should recognize that the lair is looking a little bit later than usual, so the gas had to be spent somewhere else in those upgrades, of course, as the Banshees do survive and get 3 drone kills.
Not too bad, not too bad. And of course, keeping them alive also allows them to provide a little bit more support in the push, just a little bit more DPS. If need be, they could even snipe a couple of key units, but yeah, Baneling Nest only now being thrown down by Bioice, and Epic is already starting to position himself for a push.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tight defense here for Bioice, because the Baneling Nest, by the time it finishes, he should be able to start Baneling speed immediately, because the lair is about to finish as well. So we'll see if he's going to be able to actually incorporate that once this push comes out.
And it's already coming out.
Yeah, but this time I feel like there are a lot of Lings. The queens have all survived. Like, there's been no drone damage as well. Like, Bioice has been able to handle the early game so much better in comparison to the previous game.
Yeah, the Hellions will definitely complicate things a little bit, but there we go. Banelings are already on the way. Where is speed? Where is speed?
Yeah,
there's speed.
There we go. Baneling speed is on the way. Hellbats are going to be morphed in, and that will definitely help here in the defense. There's only one tank, but the tank is in range here of this mineral line.
Yeah, not quite in range of the main base, but that's what the Marines are for. Oh, Epic! Lifting up half of his Marines right now as the Lings come in for a surround. Absolutely the worst timing. He could have done that right now, but he is able to pick off all of the Banelings and most of the Lings. Plus, this base is still in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where that was the best timing for Bioice to just surround and encapsulate that army, but, oh my god, it still is not enough to save the 4th base.
Yeah, I'm sure Bioice would have liked to get a more would have liked to get a fresher base like that 3rd, or, a base that's actually mining, but still, this is a really good pick-off for him, something that can definitely domino as the game continues.
Exactly. Thankfully, Bioice was double expanding, and he was working on a 5th base, so he will still have a 4th. Meanwhile, Banelings are done. Baneling speed about to finish up the Spire as well, so he is going into Ling Bane Muta. And this is okay because Bioice didn't really lose any drones. Like, his economy has been left untouched. At the same time, though, he doesn't have that many drones to begin with.
Yeah, he actually has fewer drones than Terran player, but I do think at this point, the adage remains where the first push from Terran player is the scariest. Now he has a very healthy amount of Mutalisk, so he can deflect this away. He has taken the map control pretty much, and he's free to drone up from here if he so chooses.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it looks like this drop will be cleaned up, and this was a pretty costly drop. Not many Marines have gone down, but that was like 5 medevacs? Yeah, looking at the battle report.
Like
5 medevacs went down there. Ay, ay, ay.
And medevacs are definitely a unit that you don't want to be reproducing. The longer they're alive, the more energy they can really store up, and at a certain point in TVZ, you don't want to be making that many starports, so you want to, at a certain point, stop making medevacs and start making liberators.
Yeah, exactly. So Epic will have to recommence that medevac production. Meanwhile, the mutas, they dive into the main base. They will be able to focus down the missile. No, they will not. The turret survives.
Repair. Always the MVP. Just barely keeps that missile turret alive this time. Even then, it was at a real risk of burning down.
It really was. Jesus Christ. Really well done there by Epic. And now Thors are coming out. He was able to scout the Spire earlier, or the mutas earlier with his drops, and now he is responding in kind, switching not just into Thors, but also Widow Mines.
Yeah, I love this. Widow Mines, of course, a brilliant zoning unit, and if the Berserk player stands a little bit too far in a minefield, or dives a little bit too far in the minefield, there can definitely be a lot of potential there. But the Thors are really going to be the anti-air damage dealer here for Epic.
They really
are. A lot more reliable.
Yeah, much more reliable. Meanwhile, a bit of a double drop here on the left-hand side is going to get caught up by the flock of mutas. Mutas could probably clean this up as well, so at least Epic is well aware of the location of them, and all the mutas go for a counterattack.
Yeah, but there are a couple of missile turrets. Also repair, not enough this time. We do have a catastrophe of Mutalists right now. That's 20 Mutalists. But we will not cut up. The Banelings will connect, but so will the Widow Mines. There's still a healthy amount of bio here, and not much of a Ling buffer for all of those Banelings. Meanwhile, did the CC go down?
Did go down. The CC did go down, but the mutas were a little bit too busy across the map. They also didn't get too many SCVs. Double drop here will get thwarted, but at the same time, the fourth base may go down again.
Yeah, the Banelings will get the connections as the bio was preoccupied dealing with that base. But now that the base has been cleared up, the mines are going to reset, and the Banelings are going to get taken out.
One of these Widow Mines has 15 kills, Yaku. 15 and 8 combined, and a lot of that was Ling Bane. Baneling specifically, so great trades here by Epic. His army, for the most part, has been cleaned up, and he should probably be going back home. But you know what? He probably just wants more mine hits. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh!
He's trying to bait it, and he does bait it successfully, or at least one of them. Not quite enough to clear up all of the mutas, but enough to significantly bruise them. The Thors will get a couple of hits off before being taken out, but yeah, it does get taken out in the end. Meanwhile, towards the west, however,
he doesn't stop.
He just does not. This is what I like about Epic, man. Decent mine shot on a lot of Zerglings, but an even better one on top of the Banelings.
What's important is that there are no Banelings left. There's only one right now. The rest of them are being morphed in, but there's just so much Ling Bane. So much Marine Marauder here. The split is real.
And a lot of the Banelings actually connecting with Marauders. The concussive shells as well, helping out a ton. GG! Epic takes an epic 2-series lead in his group without dropping a single map.
Wow. GG, well played there. Like, Epic was so, again, so in control there. Like, even though this game he wasn't able to deal anywhere near as much economic damage, he wasn't able to get many, if any, drone kills at all here. The economy of Bioice was left untouched. Bioice, he was able to get away with his upgrade double evo opening. He was able to get into his mutas. But despite all of that, like, he just pulled Bioice apart. I think what I'm most impressed by, we had 30 plus mutas head towards and kill that CC. He didn't kill any workers though, and like he like arguably that just wasn't enough. Killing a CC just wasn't enough there.
Yeah, even though it was an orbital command, I think you pointed it out. Like, the SCVs were still alive, and there was a fourth base ready for all those SCVs to be main-hearted too. Bioice, very understandably, was a little bit preoccupied with everything that was going on, but you know, that's just because Epic was doing everything he could to distract, really stretch the attention of Bioice, and that's pretty much how Terran should be played, how Bioterran should be played in TVZ.
Yeah, so. I think the point of me saying that the third CC was enough is the fact that even though he invested into a large muta cloud, he wasn't able to really hinder the economy of Epic, and hence not really slow down his production or his macro. Like, that's why, like, he just kept sending wave after wave of units. He was almost maxed out by the end of the game. He just wasn't slowing down at all, despite all those mutas. And again, like, they are the main harassing unit, you know. We expect them to get more damage done, to get more SCVs, but every time they dove in, they just really couldn't.
Plus those mine shots.
Yeah.
They just
True.
connected with clumps of bailing after clumps of bailing, and yeah, the Marines were definitely having a very good time. Again, I feel like Epic definitely has a guardian angel looking out for him
Mhm.
when he plays out his TVZs, but of course he was also being very decisive with when and where he would decide to position those widow mines.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm just so impressed by how he was able to perform. Something important to take note of is that he has obviously very strong TVZ. There's only a single Zerg player left in his group, and that is Scarlet. So we'll see how good it really is in a future day when he does go up against her. But before that happens, we are done with Group A. We're going to be hopping over to Group B after this break.
Yeah. It will be a TVT this time.
See you soon.
See you then.